And here we are, welcome back. We're having another look at my vape journey and always throw in a little review with it as well. And why not? Be looking today at this little fella. Oh, not really little, quite a big fella. It's oh, here we go. It's a Topsite Light. Comes in a box like this. Here you go. Get used to the. And it also comes as a kit. Well, the one I bought came with as a kit. It came as a kit with a little dripper here on top, and it is DOVPO. Obviously, the Topsite Light is from TVC Creation, and so is the dripper. And the dripper is interesting, and might remind you of something. But anyway, let's stop waffling about. Let's go down and have a look at it down low, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Alrighty, and here we are with the Topsite Light. That's how I got it. Put it this way. Yeah, here we go. That's the packaging. That's what it comes with. As I say, I have it for weeks. Might have not be the cleanest anymore. Just got that out of my cupboard. Nothing on the sides. And then at the back, you will see this. If you want to freeze frame it, you can see that. A little bit of a description and what's in the box. Right, let's open it up. Here you go. And this is what is in. You get this, which is a cover to make the Topsite Light from a squonker to a single battery mod. You get the USB mini charge cable. You get the kit. Here you are. And underneath you get a poor excuse of an instruction manual. Really very simple. Then you get spare screws, square O-rings, square of this thing, which I will explain to you what that is, and a multi-tool. And you actually got two of these triple fused Claptons. I used one to run this on single coil before, putting different coils in now. So that's what's in the box. Oh yeah, you also get a battery safety card, which is here right at the bottom. Always like that when company put that in. And you get the QE card down here at the bottom, which I'm not even taking out because it means absolutely nothing. And then you get a bit of an instructional video for the RDA, which comes in the kit. And the RDA is called the variant RDA. And why should we not start by looking at the variant RDA? Let's take this off. Let's take this off here. Here you are. Comes with this red drip tip. Let's just sharpen this a bit. Here we go. I said sharpen. Here we go. Comes with this drip tip. Let's go down a little bit. Here we go. That's much more comfortable for my hands. Comes with this drip tip, which is a normal 810 drip tip with the rubber inside, so any other 810 will fit on here. This drip tip actually is quite comfortable. O-rings are very, very dry because I just cleaned this bugger. And let's put it on here. Then let's have a look at the lid. This is the lid with the airflow regulator. Let's have a quick look at the airflow regulator. There you go. So you see it's going in steps. Different steps from one side to another and from another side to one. That's actually quite nifty. Let me show you why that is. Let's put this back on again. These O-rings are really dry. Right. So let's have a look at the airflow. Airflow control ring is at the top. If we can turn it. Oh, we can't. All right, I'll show it to you once we get the coils in. I'll loop it up a bit, and I'm sure it will be a lot easier to turn. At the moment, all the O-rings are very, very stiff. because it's just coming out of the washer. Then let's have a look at the deck. Here we go. That is the deck. Clamps are like this, and this screw here in the middle, that's actually your squonk pin. So you don't need a squonk pin, in other words. You will see there was no squonk pin in the package, because this screw, if you close it, it's a normal dripper. If you open it just a bit, then it's a squonker, because then your liquid will come through the squonk pin right over here. Here at the bottom it says variant, and it says it's a TVC product, TVC design, and obviously manufactured by DOVPO. And when you now say, wait a minute, I have seen this before. Yes, you have seen something similar before. You really have. And this is now in use at the moment, so I apologize that it's not clean. But you have seen something similar before. Looks like this. And it's called the drop RDA. There you go. There's the top cap. Let's put them next to each other. So the drop RDA obviously has the famous T air control. This one has it all in one raise and all in one row, but otherwise it's very, very similar. And it is, funnily enough, called the variant RDA, and it's probably called the variant RDA because it's a variant of the drop RDA, because that's what it really is. No doubt about it. The same designer as well, mind you, so can't really. So it's very similar. One of the differences is obviously that it doesn't need a squonk pin. I've just showed you the squonk arrangement. And the other one, these poles are a bit angled to the inside, which is actually nice, because on the other one the poles were very straight, and you had to bend your coils to the inside. No need to do that with this. So this is the variant RDA, which comes with the kit. Let's put this to one side. I'm not going to put that together right now. And we have a quick look at, well, maybe not that quick a look, but we have a look. Let me just wipe this off because it's full of juice. I'm using this daily. I really am. Here we go. We have the Topsite Light. This is what it looks like. This is how it comes out of the box. That's this side. This side is the menu and the up and down button and the fire button. It comes on this side with a mini USB charge port. And then at the bottom, a couple of screws, because the battery goes in like this. You put the tank section off, which is here. So that is where your juice is in. As you can see, there's a bit of juice in. This obviously is your 18650 battery adapter, if you want to use an 18650 with it. Or what you can do is you can go up to 21700. I have a 21700 here. You put it in. Now, putting the battery in is quite a tight fit, I might just tell you. So what I do, what my trick is, I go up there, and then the top contact has a spring in it. So I put it up here, I push it up, and then, yeah, that's how it works. Just push it up and then put the battery in. But you want to check your battery wrapping. I've already, one of my Galisi 21700s already had a little tear at the bottom of the battery. Of course you don't want, so that is a bit on the tight side. So something to look out for when you put in and out your batteries. And that's it. Then you put that back on, and then your thing is ready to rock and roll. Just press the fire button, and there she goes. Just going to show you quickly how to convert this into a single battery mod. You take this pin out, and you have seen there in the little plastic baggie there are a couple of reserves in, because this is a light pin, and it would have been great if they would have somewhere made a point where you can put this pin, so you don't lose it, but they haven't. So if you take the pin out, you must really put it at a safe place, otherwise it's gone. Then you have this lid, which is plastic. You see the little knob at the top. You take that, and that knob will then close up that hole where your pin just came out, and then you have a single battery mod right over here. Let's have a quick look at the menu. There's not much about it. That's what it looks like. DOVPO menu. It's obviously no in wattage. If you press 3 times on the top, it locks the fire button. So your fire button is locked. Press it 3 times again. Fire button is unlocked. Press both menu buttons. You lock the menu buttons, but the fire button still works. Press both menu buttons and you're back. Everything works again. Then press the down button and the fire button at the same time. It says check atomizer. It should work with or without atomizer. Let's just do that. Okay, here we go. So maybe press the down button first and then just half a second later the power button. Other way around it doesn't work. You get to your menu. Let's sharpen the... Oh God. Here we go. You get to your menu. It has power, which we are in now, bypass, different temperature control settings, TCR. You can have a look at your stats. You see I had 4,030 pulse. And then you just go to exit. You go back out again. And that's basically it. That's it. So in temperature control, you can set your temperature and you can set your wattage, and that's obviously wonderful. And you can go for temperature control. Not my jam. No, I'm not doing temperature control, so I use it strictly in wattage control. So let's take this converter back out again, which I never use, given the fact that this is my one and only squonker. Let's put this pen back in, because this pen is what gets the juice from your bottle to your here we go. And then you put your tank back on, and there it is. There's your DOVPO Light, ready to rock and roll. Now let's get the RDA going. And let's pop a couple of coils in quickly. Yeah, when I say quickly, you know what that means. Right, what we need to do is just screw this on here properly so it doesn't wiggle around all the time. That's what we need to do first. Here we go. Let's go down a little bit so we can see better. Right, then we loosen the screws on both sides. It has slit screws, which are my least favorite screws in the world, but that's what it has. No Phillips, no grooves, and I think the reserve grub screws are all also slit screws, so that's what it is. Then we have the coils, which I haven't put down yet. Let's find a coil cutting jingy magic. Should I have one somewhere? You can say I'm prepared for this, can't you? Here we go. I have normal, simple fused claptons, which I have wound 6 wraps, and I will cut them. It doesn't really matter with these ones. I'll show you in a minute why it doesn't matter to the millimeter where you cut them. I'll cut them at 5.5, something like that. 6 maybe. All right, cut them. Here we go. About that. Or as a famous American reviewer always said, look away, good job. Look away, good job. Here we go. Let's do the same here. Done. Right. Now for my next trick. You'll get those coils in, which is the easiest job in the world because you just drop them in. Quality unraveling a bit. Let's get this off. Right. Let them fall in here and you will see they fall right through to the bottom. So you could actually have your coils, let me get this a bit closer. You can actually have your coil legs a little longer and cut them flush at the bottom if you want to do that. Right, let's put them in here. Maybe just lift it up for a millimeter. Right, let's see where we are height-wise. Let's get our, where is my coil master? There we go. Let's get the coil master in here, see how we are. Yeah, that will be fine. Right, let's get our second coil in. You can find it. There it is. Right, and put the second coil in. Once again, just drop it in. Lift it up a millimeter. And I'm going to get them screwed in with the coil master earlier. And I just put the screws in here. Tighten this. Done. Here we go. Now let's level this out a bit. And they all more or less look the same. Let's re-screw these on, tighten these properly, which I haven't done. Right, now they have been tightened. Let's take that coil master pole out here so we can maneuver these coils a little bit better. This one seems a little bit too far over to this side. Let's just go over to there. Here we go. And these ones. Here we go. You might want to space this out just a little bit better. Here we go. Now this one must go in a little bit more. Well, doesn't really, but I would like it to be in a little bit more. Here we go. Am I off camera again? No, I'm not. I'm still in. That's awesome. Right. Let's get the pole again. See if we can get them more or less parallel here. And they don't look too much out of whack. How does that look? That's not too bad, huh? I've done a lot worse than that. Right. We should probably give them a bit of a burn. Let's use the mod which we are looking at today. Tell the mod. Have it at around about 35 watt. Give them a bit of a burn here. Look, there's no stroking required because you can see these are spaced coils. Spaced them out because the poles are pretty far apart. What do they come out at? They come out at 0.22, and this is more or less what my little tool on my cell phone told me where it will be. Alrighty then. Okay, let's take it off and put some cotton in. Why not? Sorry, just needed to attend to something. All right, now we need to get the cotton in here. Right, let's do it. 5-bolt cotton, which I'm using. I like those. I really do like those. Also, here you could probably use the normal organic cotton without problems. And I thought here for on camera, let's do the 5-bolt cotton. Because for a dripper, I normally just use normal organic cotton. There's no need to do the fancy stuff. Yeah, 5-bolt cotton I consider fancy stuff. The trick, obviously, it needs to go to the bottom, so you kind of give it a little nudge with your nail. You know where to cut it. It goes to the bottom. There we go. Then the 5-bolt cotton on the other side. Just cut it off here. Yeah, these scissors have had better days. I'm the first one to admit it. There we go. Let's just. Was I off camera again? No, not me. Impossible. Right, then just pull it in a little bit more. Maybe give it a little bit of a trim on this side. Then what we do, we fluff it out. Yeah, we fluff it. And then we just put it in there. That's it. The nice thing with drippers, you don't need to worry about so many things. Just make sure you have enough cotton. Fluffy. Put it on, put it in. Same here, put it in. There we go. And once it's all done, there at the middle, obviously we loosen the screws. This is where we'll be squonking through. And this is more or less, once we are finished, what the whole shebang will be looking like. Enough cotton, you can look from this side, reaches the floor just fine. It has a very nice juice well, if I have to guess, probably 6-7 millimeters, so that's quite nice. So over squonking, accidentally over squonking, shouldn't be an issue. Obviously, if you want to really squonk till the juice run out, yes, you can do that. Right, then we put it on the mod. Put a bit of juice in. I have melon milkshake in this one, so I'll just give it a bit of melon milkshake to get it going. Injured, so below, that's all fine. So we just give it a bit of a juice up. Bit on the other side as well. Bit of a juice up. There we go. Now let's see if the squonking works. You see? Can you see? And there the juice comes out. Here we go, all done. Yeah, I just dropped my juice bottle. I'm a clumsy idiot. Right, and there it is. There is the variant RDA juiced up and ready to go. And we'll meet again upstairs and we'll have a quick final talk about the top light. Top light here, the Topsite Light, and I'll give you my thoughts. Cheers. And here we are. Welcome back upstairs, and we had a look at the Topsite Light, which obviously is my one and only squonker at the moment, and it is with the battery. It has a decent weight to it, and it works. Right, there are a couple of eyes and there are a couple of nose, as there always are. Let's start with the no points. So it's a bit suffier. Hey, we don't want that. Anyway, right, let's start. To start with, this seems to be zinc alloy and it's nice and stable. This is feels very plasticky, and I know. It's you know, it's supposed to look great, and you can look inside. But yeah, I'm not quite sure how you could have done it differently. But yeah, that is, if that drops, it will crack. That I'm sure it will. Right. Then there's another one. You heard me talking about it down low. That pin over here, if you want to convert it to a single battery mod, you have to take out that pin. So they should have had somewhere made a place where somebody could, you know, store that pin so it doesn't get lost. Now you take it out, you have to put it somewhere, and once you want to reconvert it, you have to remember where you put it. There are 2 spare ones in, so that's obviously a plus point. My biggest gripe with this is, if we look here, and let's do that, here we go. In order to get out the bottle, you have to unscrew these screws. Now that is not hot, because I always have, I got myself another bottle, and I always, you know, want to change between different flavors. So every time you want to change the bottle, or clean the bottle for that matter, you have to unscrew these 2 screws in order to get the bottle out. There is no other way to get the bottle out. That is certainly something they could have done differently, easier way to get the bottle out. Now the capacity is very, very nice. Let's have a look if they say anything on the box about it, but it is the normal, you know, Topsite capacity. So I think it's 8 mil or something. So that is nice and big, so that's not a problem. The squonking works very, very well. Nice and soft, and you have a big space to squonk. The vaping is fantastic. I'm vaping it now at 40 watts. Here we go. This camera, you can actually see it. Vaping it at 40 watts, and it just works fine. It feels a solid mod, apart from the plasticky part at the back. The dripper is as good as the drop. I like the drop. I like this one as well. It just works fine. I think it's a very nice idea not to have to change the 510 pin at the bottom if you want to drip it, but that you have the screw inside which you can open and close. And you could actually possibly, yeah, you could, if you have a small screwdriver. There you go, well used. If you have a small screwdriver, you could get inside there and change it on the fly without taking out the coils or the wick first. So all in all, do I like it? Yes, I like it. I think it works very, very well. I took it out as well. As I said, wouldn't drop it. Don't trust that plastic that it will hold up to a drop. And that I have to unscrew the top every time I want to change the bottle. These are my biggest gripes. So I don't change it to a single battery single battery mod, so I don't mind about that. And otherwise, it's a wonderful, wonderful mod. It really works well. It is feels solid. It's not overpriced, and yeah. As for my first squonk mod, I probably couldn't have done better at the time. If it would be today and I had a choice, I might be looking out for the Pulse 2 because it's slightly smaller. This is a big guy. This is a big mod. So be aware of that. It's not small. Let's put something next to it which everybody knows. Here we go. There's the Rinko Magman, which is a dual battery, obviously not a squonker, but that is smaller. So yeah, it's a biggie, but it works. It works with a 21700 battery. The battery slot is a bit tight, so look out for that you don't damage your battery wraps. And that's about it. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and it gave you a bit of information, because that's what it's all about. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.